Welcome to Eureka Math. I'm Mr. Shankel. I'm going to be helping you today with Module 1, Lesson 24. Let's get started. Well, today we started working with percents, and we had a good opportunity to change percents into fractions and fractions to decimals and vice versa. And so that's what we're going to be working on today in the example. Here's the situation. We've got 100 offices that need to be painted. The workers choose between yellow, blue, or beige paint. They decide that 45% of the offices will be painted yellow, 28% will be painted blue, and the remaining offices will be painted beige. Create a model that shows a percent of offices that would be painted by each color. So we'll start with that, and we'll start with the part that will be yellow, and I'm just going to highlight here 45% of the offices will be painted yellow. So I need to make sure that this fits on my 10 by 10 grid. We learned in class that 45% means 45 per 100. 45% means 45 per 100. So I'm going to use the grid and I'm going to shade in 45 boxes. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, and another 5. So I'll start here and get those last 5. So the 45% of the offices is represented by the yellow, the boxes that are colored in with the yellow. All right, we also have 28% are blue. So let me get a blue color here that we can work with. And I want to highlight 28% will be blue. So that means we have 28 out of 100. 28% means 28 per 100. So I'm going to highlight 28 boxes. So I'll start over here. There's 10, there's 20, and I want all but 2 in this column. There's 28. So 28 are to be painted blue, 28 out of 100. And then lastly, the remaining will be beige. Well, let me get a color that we can use for beige. I don't know. It's going to be a lot like the yellow, so let me just choose a nice pink color. All right, and then we will say that the remaining offices will be beige. So I would color in the 2 over here that I had left over and the 5 over here that I had left over. So that's 7, and then these other 20. So that means that I have 27% or 27 per 100 will be beige. Okay? Well, let's take a look at our table now, and we want to fill in some of these percentages. So let me start with the beige since I have that color with me. We already found out that it's 27%. Let me back that up and start again. 27%. That's the fraction 27 per 100. And then to find the decimal, well, we just have to put 27 in the hundredth spot. So I start with my decimal, and the 2 is in the tenths place, the 7 is in the hundredths place, so this reads 27 hundredths, which is the same as my fraction, and it fits my percentage. So there's the beige, 27%, and if we switch to the blue, we know that 28% was blue, So there's our percentage. We can change to a fraction because 28% means 28 per 100. We could simplify that, but for now we'll just leave it there. And then the decimal is decimal. The 2 is in the tenths place, and the 8 is in the hundredths place. So 28 hundredths, and that fits our fraction and percentage. All right, and now let's talk about the yellow. And if we look at the yellow, we knew that that was 45%. So we can write the 45%. That means that it's 45 per 100, and the decimal would be 0.45, 45 tenths hundredths. All right, well, we've also learned that we could change from a decimal first into the fraction and the percent. We could change from the fraction first and change that into a decimal and a percent. And then we could also start with, like we did here, the percentage and change that into a fraction or a decimal. So there are some tricks that we talked about, but the main idea is percents are a part-to-whole ratio that always compares to 100. So it's very much like a unit rate. Instead of comparing to 1 unit, we're now comparing to 100, and it allows us to compare different values. All right, that's our introduction to percents. We're going to be doing a lot more work with percents next week leading up to the test on Friday. That was lesson 24. Hope that helps. See you next time.